This is a 2005 Jamis Dakar. Now I know what you're thinking, this thing is a piece of junk, and you're right. Today in the MTB garage, we're going to be tearing down this old clunker and then rebuilding it into something actually rideable, using some more modern components that I had lying around the garage. Let's get this thing in the repair stand and get started. Alright, now that we got the bike in the stand, we're going to be tearing it down, doing a full inspection on the frame, cleaning everything, and checking for cracks. Now this bike was given to me with the explicit instructions to find it a good home, and lucky enough my buddy is just starting out as a new rider and needs a bike to ride. So we're going to go ahead and give it to him once it's done. I think he's going to be pretty stoked to get a free bike, especially after we do all these upgrades. Alright, now that we got the frame torn down, we're going to inspect for cracks. The best way to go about this is to use a little bit of light. I'm going to be using the light off of my smartphone here, and then I'm going to be checking all the major high stress areas as well as the weld points. Frame cracks are a very common issue with older bikes like this, so before we do any major work here, we're going to be making sure there isn't any structural damage to the frame. Since this is an aluminum frame, the weld points are going to be the weakest, so I'm going to go ahead and check those as thoroughly as I can. This fork's pretty old. It came original on the bike in 2005, but it's in good shape, so I'm going to show you guys a quick trick that will breathe some new life into the seals without having to do a full rebuild on it. All you need to do this are some zip ties and some sort of stanchion lube. Start by cleaning the outside of the dust wiper seals with a rag or paper towel. Next, take the skinny end of the zip tie and insert it between the stanchion tube and the dust wiper. This will allow you to get lubricant inside of the fork levers. Repeat the process on both sides and then cycle the fork to get the grease all worked in. Now it's time to reinstall the fork. We're going to start by inserting the cleaned headset bearings into the headset cups with some waterproof grease. Once our bearings are in place, we can install the fork into the head tube and clamp down the stem. Now these old handlebars are made out of carbon fiber, but they're only 665 millimeters wide, which is really short for a mountain bike. So we're going to replace them with a set of aluminum bars that I had lying around. These ones are 750 millimeters wide. It's going to give my buddy a lot more stability while he's riding. So one of the biggest upgrades that we're going to be doing on this bike is converting it from a 3x9 system to a 1x11. Now this 11-speed cassette has an 11 to 46 tooth gear range, and it's going to really simplify this bike by getting rid of a front shifter and front derailleur altogether. Now my buddy is a new rider, so this is going to be a really great addition to this bike because he's not going to have to worry about another shifter to deal with. It's just the one on the right hand side. Now that the drivetrain is mostly installed, we're going to move on to the brakes. This was pretty straightforward as there is no internal routing on this frame. The tires that came on this bike did have some tread left, but they were really old and starting to crack. I got these WTB wire bead tires off Amazon for pretty cheap, and they'll be a good balance of traction and speed. If you're interested in learning more about tires, I did make a video that goes super in depth and will give you all the info you need to choose the right tires for your bike. I'll include a link down in the description below. We're almost done with this build, just a few more odds and ends, and then a final bolt check to complete it. So here it is. We have really transformed this thing into a modern trail bike, and I think my buddy is going to be stoked. I hope you enjoyed this process and maybe learned a thing or two. Now let's go deliver this bike to its new owner. So as you can see, I've traded my apron for some riding gear, and I met up with my buddy Justin down here at the trailhead and passed off the bike to him. He's pretty stoked.
Beyond stoked. It's beautiful.
Yeah, man. So we're going to go and head out on the trail and do a quick loop. For today's ride, we did a quick loop at a local wilderness park called Whiting Ranch. Like I said, Justin is new to mountain biking, so we chose some easier trails that he could try out the bike on. How's it feel? Well, that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay up to date on new videos. And hey, let's ride again next week.